Hello, Stacy here, and I wanted to make a video to start 2020 off strong. Happy New Year, by the way, with some healthy mindsets and some reflections. Just on my personal journey, I know some of you are here on the channel because of the gluten-free videos that I've made. I've been gluten-free for almost a decade, and I just really don't want to miss this opportunity to share with you some things that have really resonated with me lately and some things I've been able to change. I ended 2021 in the best shape of my life. Well, I was in shape when Jude was little, like 8 years ago, but I've had a lot of health issues over the past 8 years because I had some surgeries and different things that set me back, and the realization that I needed to be gluten-free. But I felt so good ending the year strong, and I was at my lowest weight. So for me, and you may be the same, I would love for you to comment below and let me know where your strengths are and where you struggle, because I think identifying those things are really important. So for me, I can work out 5 to 6 days a week, usually no problem. I do have to drag myself downstairs to push play a couple times a week usually, but I do it for work. So it's something that I just have to do. I tell myself, I force myself to do it because it's part of my coaching job. But really that's not like moving my body and being physical and doing the fitness side makes my mind better, and it puts me in such a better mood, and it helps with my anxiety and depression so much that I feel like it's almost like a medicine that I have to take. But there's a lot of other components to losing weight and being in your best health that do not have anything to do with physical exercise. And those are some of the things I kind of want to just break down really quickly, some different segments of what I think of each topic, what's helped me, what I've broken up with, what I've added to my lifestyle. And I just have to say, like, mindset, of course, is key. And gut health, sleep, water, and also really just having the wellness in your, taking care, having an Epsom salt bath, laughing with your family and watching a movie. All of those things add to our wellness. The first thing I want to address is if you feel like you have an allergy to gluten or dairy or anything else, maybe it's alcohol, a certain type of alcohol or something, you really need to listen to that voice that's telling you to give it a break. Because I avoided, and I had my chiropractor and my midwife. I was pregnant when I was having a lot of issues. My second pregnancy, I was having skin rashes all over the palms of my hands. If you have skin issues, if you have just any type of health issue that you think could be linked to gluten or dairy and you don't want to believe it, I promise you, if you break up with that for 3 weeks and then you add it back in, add your cheese back in, add your milk, add your latte, add your bun that you like to eat, the gluten bun or whatever it is, your favorite toast or bread, or add it back in and just let your body tell you, because we only get one body. So if you are just avoiding it for the next decade, I promise you that you will feel so much better if you just face this head on. So think about it, and I encourage you to just eliminate it and then add it back in and see how you feel. This is the second time I'm filming this because apparently my first video didn't save because I got a phone call. So note to self, put do not disturb when you're filming. So I wanted to talk about alcohol because last year, around this time, January 20th, I just got this feeling that I needed to not have alcohol for the year. And it was just something that, like, I was still kind of drinking post holidays. I was feeling a little bit of a slave to it. And I'm like, you know what would my year look like if I just said no alcohol? Would I die? So for me, I have struggled in the past, and my husband can attest to this. We've had a couple really hard conversations to where I would use it as energy to get through bedtime routine. I would use it to try to rev myself up to do my online business after the kids went to bed or in the mid-afternoon. I would just overdo it. I would have too much fun when we were on trips or different things where I just wouldn't feel good the next day, and it would kind of ruin the time. And it wasn't nothing like super serious, but it just wasn't my best me. And when I really sit and think, okay, do I need alcohol to have fun? Do I need alcohol to get through any social anxieties I have? Do I need it as a crutch? Like, it doesn't really give me the energy that I think it does, and it's expensive, and it kind of backs me up a little bit. My gut doesn't like it, my body doesn't like it, my workouts aren't as good, I don't have as much energy, I don't drink as much water because I'm sipping a little champagne or whatever's going on. And so I said no. And I went through 4 major like events and trips, like week-long trips without it, and I didn't die. And I felt great. I was a little bummed. I think this year what I learned is that I just can't have it in the house. So if I have a good bottle of champagne in the house, that bad boy is getting cracked open before Friday, if you know what I mean. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just have it when we go camping with our friends, and I'll just have it, you know, if we are in Hawaii or whatever we're doing this year, so that I can enjoy the vacation and the rest. But when I'm home, it's like, no, let's clean it up. Let's get this schedule going. And for me, that's going to be the way that I'll probably live. If we have friends over for dinner or something, yeah, we can have some, but it just is going to be more social for me, not at the house type of thing. So, there's a couple things to think about. I was talking with a client and I was telling her, okay, well, listen, because she's like, I have to stop drinking, Stacey. I have to. Because it's like, okay, before you know it, you've got 30 pounds to lose, 40 pounds. And you're like, I know firsthand that this alcohol is part of that. So I was telling her, I'm like, well, what I've noticed with myself is, okay, if I have it on the weekends, if I have it like Friday, Saturday, or even if, you know, before COVID, we'd go to brunch and have mimosas on Sunday or something, or go out to eat after church and have a drink. That's 3 days of drinking. It takes my body about 3 to 4 days to feel normal again after I've had drinks. And then, so that you're already into like Wednesday before your body starts to regulate and feel better and work at its optimal level. And then it's Friday again. So you have like 2 days of the week where your body can kind of catch up because your liver is detoxifying and the bloating has to go down and all the things that go on. I don't know if it's just me, but that's what happens in my body. So I was just telling her like, hey, if you don't want to go 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, you should just ditch it, and ditch it for 3 weeks, 8 weeks, like a long period of time, so that you can gain momentum in your metabolism and in your sleep and in your water intake and all the things. Like it's a delayed response on a lot of this stuff. So the other thing is I got my nails done. So making a goal for myself, I was like, well, I'll just take the money that I would spend on wine and go get my nails done and feel good about that. So setting a goal of something else that you want instead, I think is really helpful. And then, just knowing that you're doing your body and your liver a favor. And another thing that I heard is when things go wrong in our body, we often think like, and I read this in a book and it was really wise and it was a really good paradigm shift for me. Instead of being like, why is my blank failing me? Like, why is this organ failing me? Or why are my blood sugar levels failing me? And I think taking responsibility for our health and really looking at what we put in our bodies and taking care of those organs means so much as we get older. And so I really do think, I'm like, my liver has enough stuff to detox just by me simply like breathing this air, having all like the toxins all around me all the time. So to give it a break from having to process alcohol on top of that is a special treat for it. You know what I mean? And I don't think our liver can burn fat. Our bodies can't really burn fat if they're processing alcohol either. So you kind of have to pick and choose. Like, do you want to be burning fat and losing weight right now? Or do you want to be stopping the process by having the drinks that you want so bad? So it's really a give and take. And yeah, these are just some things that have helped me and I had to share. Okay, wow, I'm passionate about gluten and alcohol. All right, let's keep the rest of these short. So, sleep. I'm reading a book right now called Why We Sleep. It's a really fascinating book to listen and just think about and learn about sleep. Real quick, 7 hours helps reset your hormones. So if you are not getting 7 hours of sleep most nights, please look at your sleep habits. Don't have your phone closer than 9 inches to you. Try to have it out of the room, actually. I use mine as an alarm, which I know I should probably just buy an alarm clock. But I keep it on the floor by my nightstand. So I don't even have it level with my head when I'm sleeping on my nightstand. And then do great thing, like take a bath, take a shower and put some eucalyptus essential oils in your shower. Take some deep breaths. There is on our fitness platform that we have, there's these controlled stretches and they're bedtime stretches. It's 9 weeks, 10-minute stretches. You have so many to choose from, and you can actually, like, even if you were to put your legs up on the wall, there's some where she has you do that. Even if you just laid on your back and kicked your legs up on the wall, took 5 deep breaths and thanked God for something that you were thankful for that day, you're going to sleep better. So I just encourage you to look at your habits, and you know what? Scrolling is not that exciting. So just put the phone away. Don't watch TV super late at night. Don't eat before bed. That really hurts your sleep. And just the more we know, the better we do. Matt and I do the Ultimate Reset, which is our favorite 21-day total body reset. We're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day. We also have done the 75 hard challenge twice, and that requires you to drink a gallon of water a day, which is 128 ounces, which is the size of this water bottle. Now, having been forced to drink that much water in a day, I do notice that I feel better. My skin is way more glowing and clear. So if you are in your 40s or 50s and you're like, oh, my skin looks gross and I cannot get it hydrated, the skin on my hands, drink more water. You will notice a huge difference. So for me, my sweet spot is 100 ounces. I don't quite need 128. I'm 150 pounds. My husband, he'll drink half a gallon before he even leaves for work in the morning. He's crazy. If you are having constipation issues, his chiropractor told him that if you drink, at least a liter of water in the morning, you will be able to go to the bathroom every morning. And so I don't like drinking that much water early. It kind of makes my stomach hurt, but if you can stomach it, you should do it. So I would say find your sweet spot and enjoy the benefits of water. Okay, ready? Vegetables. All right. One of our nutrition plans is called To Be Mindset, and she focuses on veggies most. Water first, 20 ounces of water before you eat, and then veggies most in your meal. And did you know that if you take a bite of your protein or your vegetables first, before you take a bite of a piece of bread or whatever carb is on your plate, your blood sugar levels won't be as high after the meal as if you would have taken a bite of the carb first. Very interesting. So when you start thinking of, instead of the base of your meal being rice, noodles, beans, bread, whether it's a sandwich or whatever, if you look at the base of your meal, say like a veggie bowl, as vegetables, you will not only save yourself calories, you will get a lot more nutrients in your system, a lot more fiber, and your blood sugar levels are gonna do really well with that. So I just think of vegetables as my number one part of the meal, and then I build around that. So if I'm having my superfood protein shake, I will have frozen, and I make it for the kids. I do frozen cauliflower rice. I just buy the Costco huge bag, put it in the blender. I'll buy the bag of spinach or power greens, throw those in the freezer, grab a big handful of the frozen leaves, throw it in the blender. And then also I like to buy zucchini, just the green zucchini, and I chop it into like little triangular chunks, throw it in a gallon-sized freezer bag, and then I grab a handful of those and put those in my smoothie as well. It kind of works like xanthan gum to thicken the shake, but it's not the gums. You don't want a lot of those gums when you're, looking at your day. So just adding the zucchini is perfect, and it's going to give you that ice cream texture depending on how much water you put in, or nut milk or milk, whatever you use. So veggies are crazy important, and I can't live without them. When I see what other people eat, and I'm like, where's your vegetables? Like I can't even understand, because it's become such a big part of my life, and I encourage you to look at your meals differently if you haven't already yet. I just want to talk about snacks and 2 things that I broke up with that have saved my butt, literally. So back after I had my son, I had already broken up with McDonald's, but I was like, I gotta just break up with Taco Bell. It needs to be a clean divorce, a clean breakup. And Subway, all of them, teriyaki. I don't eat out unless it's like egg white bites from Starbucks, or, sometimes I'll get stuff at Starbucks to eat, like a salad or mod pizza. I'll go there with the kids, but I do not do fast food. And the other thing that I broke up with is late night snacking. It took me a while. It was a process. All of this is a process, and I've been at it for almost a decade. But I destroyed my health in my 20s, and so I promised my body and my mind that I would give back to it as much as I could, because I was terrible, like beyond, I'm sure, more terrible than all my friends combined. But I don't late night snack anymore, because Matt and I just saw that we are healthier. We do not get as sick when we go to bed after the kids. So around 9:30, we get that early sleep. And that's another thing that I learned about sleep, is when you can get that 10 to midnight, unless you really are a night owl and your system doesn't need it as much. I'm an early bird, so I need that sleep. But we just don't watch TV at night, because what would happen is I would sit down in front of the TV. I'm already tired because I woke up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to sit here and try to eat my snacks and drink my drinks and add a bunch of empty calories into my system right before bed just so I can stay up to watch a show. Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. So let's talk snacks really quick, and then I'll say goodbye. Snacks for me are my nemesis. I love chips. I love candy, like even those Smart Sweets, the little peach O's, or like the healthier Swedish fish from Smart Sweets. Yes, they have more fiber. Yes, they have less sugar. Doesn't matter. They still gum me up in my system, and they still put the weight on me. And I know, because I can tell, because I've cleaned my act up so much that when I do stuff like this, I'm like, dang it, I can tell that I'm gaining weight or I'm bloated or whatever. So just look. Okay, here's what I do. I don't go down the grocery aisle. Okay, you can tell, like, I love treats. I don't go down the grocery aisle. If I do need to get some chips for the kids or something, I'll literally walk past what I like to eat and what normally would go in my cart, and I look at it in the eye and I'm like, I love you. You taste so good, but you are not serving my goals right now. So I'm going to just walk right by, but I'm going to say hi, because when you're mindful and you're actually focused and like, I know that sounds crazy, you guys. I know I sound like a total bimbo, but I promise you this is kind of what I do in my mind to get over myself, because I am a binge eater at my best, at my worst. And then I'll buy snacks or chips that I don't really like that much for the kids, but I know that they like them. So buy the stuff for your kids here and there. Get them the chips that they want in their lunch or whatever. I know mine are busy with sports. I'm like, you can have a couple chips in your lunch. It's fine. But I just don't buy the ones that I'm like, ooh, Fritos. You know what I mean? Like, I love Fritos. If they're in my pantry, I'm going to eat them. And if they're not in the house, and you didn't buy them at the grocery store, they didn't make it into your cart, they didn't make it into your car, they didn't make it into your pantry, they're not going to make it onto your thighs. Simple as that. And then 2, when you are standing in the kitchen, maybe making dinner, find something to do, like maybe be listening to an audiobook or a podcast instead of standing. I know when I am caught standing at the island, mindlessly snacking on something that I found in the kitchen and not even thinking about it, that is where I get in my most trouble. So try to find those trigger moments of like, ooh, that's a really bad habit, and I'm not even clearly looking at the fact that I'm doing it because it's so mindless. Think about how you can replace a better habit with that habit. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here with me. And if you have any questions or you want to add anything to this or any comments or any things that have helped you, I encourage you to do so. And if you want to look at doing a 21-day body reset with Matt and I, we do it twice a year and we're starting soon. So I would love love to walk that together with you because it's a movement. Like it's an energy, it's a thing. It is so good. And all the supplements that we take over the 21 days add so much to our health that we feel entirely different almost after the 3 weeks. It's fantastic. So, all right, I'll talk to you soon.